Here's an awesome alloy bodied 118 scale crawler from MN Models. It's the MN333 Mercedes Unimog. So in this video, I'm going to showcase the truck in stock form, and then at the end of it, I'm going to do some full upgrades to extract even more performance. So let's not waste any time. Let's jump right into it. All right, so we're going to take a look at the truck in a second, but let's take a quick second here to check out the box. Now, this comes in two colors here. We have the green one as well as the silver one. The MN333S comes in blue as well as tan. Has that cool camper body on the back here. Now, like I said, this truck is an alloyed bodied truck, so it's very heavy up top. So I imagine this truck is going to be a little bit compromised as it relates to performance. This one is just the same. It has a little bit less compromise because there's nothing on the back of the standard version, but there is some issues. We'll get into that in a second here. So in the box, you obviously get your truck. You get the transmitter here. This is the standard transmitter that ships with most MN models here. You have the trim function here. You have the throttle rate as well as the light function. Take a look here. If we press that, you can turn them on or off. I believe that cycles the indicators as well. So that's pretty cool. I like this little thumb grip on the side here. So it is a bit of a cheap transmitter, but at least you get that thumb grip, and it's pretty ergonomic as well. Now you also get your 500 milliamp hour pack here. You get a standard little charger there, your owner's manual, as well as a spare set of springs. Now these springs are the softer set. This one ships with the stiff springs on the truck here. Now this feels more suited to the MN333S because they're very, very firm, and this truck isn't quite as laden with weight as the S version. So if you're gonna run the standard truck, I'd highly recommend you use the softer springs. This is way too stiff, and this truck is top heavy, so there's pretty much no give in the suspension. So you're gonna wanna change that. If you don't do anything else, you're definitely gonna wanna change that part. Now, out the box, you're going to have to install all the details like the snorkel, the mirrors, the handles, the exhaust, as well as the jerry can and wipers. But that's pretty well easy to do. They ship on a little plastic sheet in the box, but not too hard at all. Now, it has a 180 size motor, friction shocks like I mentioned earlier. The hood does open. That's where you put your battery pack. A little bit hard to open there, but there you go. It does have functioning lights, as you can see. So if we take a look at the transmitter here, one touch turns the headlights off, one touch back on. Hold it to have the hazards, and if you turn, you get no indicators, but if you turn the hazards off, you get the indicators. Now, depending on the mode that you're in, you don't get any brake lights. So let's see here. This is in the crawl mode or the slow mode here. Let's check the speed real quick. Pretty slow. So there's your brake lights. If we change the throttle mode, no brake lights there. The drag brake seems pretty weak as well, as you can see there. No drag brake. Let's try the other mode here. Oh, there you go. So you do get the drag brake in the crawler mode. So before we take the Unimog on a test run, let's do a quick comparison between it and the MN111 here. This is also a full alloy body truck. They have the same portal axles as well as a few other things. As it relates to the body though, the Unimog is a lot smaller, but the wheelbase seems to be the exact same thing, as you can see there. Now, the interesting thing about the Unimog is it ships on maybe an 8 to 10 millimeter hex. So if you're going to try to upgrade the wheels, you're going to need to change the stock hex. Let's get a quick baseline of this truck's performance before I go ahead and upgrade it. That comes up in just a second, but as you can see here, the shocks are very firm. There's little to no give on that rear suspension. Let's check here how well it crawls. Tire grip here. Slow speed control is not bad, but that ESC whine is not great. I'm going to upgrade absolutely everything on this truck. There you go. That body is real top heavy. Let's go ahead and check the portal clearance on this brick here. So we're going to work our way over. No giving that suspension. We're going to fix that in just a moment here, but good clearance from the portal axles, as you can see there. Slow speed control is pretty good. Let's see if it's able to make this climb here. We're going to check the tire grip. Absolutely no give in that suspension, but the slow speed control is not too bad. Fighting for traction up here, so the tire compound is not the best. It's trying. Yeah, that suspension is really firm. There we go. Let's try to gently bring that nose down here. Whoop. We had our first rollover. That rollover actually broke my mirror, so that's not great. The quality isn't great on those plastic parts. But let's do one final test before the upgrade to see if it makes this climb here. Nice and easy does it. Slow speed control is not bad. There we go. We're working our way up. Nice and gentle. That suspension has no give. Okay, not bad. It was able to make the most of the climb, but the traction isn't good on the stock tires, and this truck has no give in the suspension, so you have to be nice and gentle here when working your way down. Yeah, real top heavy body. Let's make some upgrades to see if we can get some more performance out of this truck. All right, so here we have the fully upgraded Unimog. Let's take a closer look here. Absolutely fully upgraded. We have new wheels and tires, new suspension, better weight balance, new ESC. We have the functioning lights as well, bigger battery too. So we have a bigger battery in there and a new 6-channel transmitter. Now, the main issue the stock truck had was that suspension travel. It was pretty stiff. So I'm running softer springs in the back here, 53mm shocks, firmer springs at the front to support that body. A lot more travel, a lot more support, just a lot better control overall. So this truck is pretty good. The one thing that I like about this truck as well is these little storage boxes. You can open them up. And what I did was I added some wheel weights to the inside. So I'm about maybe like 200 grams of weight, which brings that center of gravity all the way down on the truck. Makes the truck a lot better in terms of climbing and side hilling. It's not that eager to fall over. So let's go ahead and turn it on real quick. Now, the only thing that's still stock on this truck is the motor and the servo. I'm going to upgrade those soon. So let's just consider this as like a stage 1 of the upgrades. But I'm loving how smooth that suspension is. The new ESC gives me a lot of control. The truck looks pretty good as well, as you can see. A lot better overall. Let's get it back on the crawler course here to see how it does compared to stock. I think it's going to be a lot better. So the first thing I want to test is that portal clearance. Clearance is pretty good. That body control is much better than stock. It's not leaning over anywhere near as much as it did stock. That stock transmission though is pretty loud, but that's kind of like an MN model thing. They all have that loud sound. We're going to swing around here real quick. Definitely going to need to upgrade that servo to get some more steering angle, but let's try to make this steep climb here to see what the truck does. Let's work our way up. Traction is pretty good. Let's try to work our way up this steep incline here. Test that grip and control. What about the traction on the tires here? Not bad at all. Good articulation, as you can see there. A lot better than stock. Nice and gentle over here. Look at that angle. Oh, I spoke too soon. So the truck is still on the tippy side, as you can see. There's really no getting around that. It is a full metal bodied truck after all. But overall, I think it's safe to say the performance has improved. So let's work our way over here nice and gentle. Nice and easy up here. Nice and gentle. We're on the ragged edge here, man. Just fell off. I'm gonna back out of that. That might be a bad idea, but let's see. Yep. So there's definitely more work to be done to further improve the performance of this truck, but I'm loving the challenge of trying to get a metal bodied truck to perform. Not often that we get those in the hobby. So hit the like button if you enjoyed Project Unimog here. I'm gonna keep working on this thing to make it a little bit better. But loving it so far, significantly better than stock. A lot better traction, a lot better articulation, much better control, and looking good while doing it. So that's pretty good. So hope you enjoyed this content, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.